Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motor City Uncut, episode 155, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. We have the full crew together, actually. Everybody's here.
I know, it's weird.
Who wasn't here last time? Was it?
That was me.
Was it you?
Yeah.
No, last week you were sick, and then you were gone the week before, and then the week before that I was gone.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
All right,
Yeah, now we get into the December holiday season, and
I figure we get 2 shows.
we probably get the...
No, we get well, this week's account. We figure we get the next 2 weeks after today.
And then you probably won't see us till after the first Sunday after the New Year.
Yes. So I was looking at the calendar, and it looks like that's probably how it'll work out.
Okay, so we'll get to 3 more episodes before the year wraps up. Hey, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
You ready?
Yes,
sir.
We're in a no segue or professional lead-in. Red Wings into fire Jeff Blashill. Embarrassing. And if there was ever a night to do it, I think his ass isn't just hot. It's on fucking fire. If there was any night to do it, it would have been last night immediately after the game. I'm fully would have been behind, assuming Ken Holland was on the road trip, pulling a Brett Bielema and firing him before he makes it back to the locker room.
or Lane Kiffin and not let him on the bus.
Yeah.
Find your own way home.
Yeah, here's an Uber in a ticket, flight home.
Uber in Montreal. Hope he speaks French.
Yeah. Mon chéri.
I don't want to jump the gun a little bit here, considering it is still, let's say December 3rd.
Correct.
They're
27 into an 81 game season.
Yes.
But still,
obviously there's
awful. Awful
Oh no!
start.
No, you know what? Last night there's zero excuse for something like that to happen. It's hockey.
10-1.
It's hockey. You should never.
Especially considering the average game this year is about 6 goals.
Look, I was gonna say 6 goals is an incredibly bad night for you.
Well, I'm collectively, the NHL average this year is 6.2 goals a game.
And that's what I'm saying. It's giving up 6 goals on your own. I'm not talking about
absolutely.
I'm not talking about combined
effort.
Yeah, combined effort there. I'm talking giving up 6 goals on a given night is an incredibly bad night and something that you should be embarrassed about. Going out there, giving up 10 on the road against a Montreal team that has had their struggles this year as well.
Yeah, they're struggling almost as much as the Red Wings are.
It's inexcusable. I don't care. Even the worst team in the league on their worst night
should never give up 10.
No, should never give up 10.
Well, there's
goals.
only 4 other teams that have given up more runs on the season so far than them.
Goals.
Huh?
It's
you
hockey
said more
season.
runs.
It's hockey season.
Goals, I meant to say. Sorry. Goals, my bad.
Jeez, man.
It's hockey season.
We see where Shawn's brain's at.
Yeah, my bad.
Is this February? Is pitchers and catchers reported yet?
I wish. No, goals.
No, we still have a couple months before pitchers and catchers.
Right,
report,
I know.
I get everybody's frustrations. Trust me, I'm frustrated with it as well. Ironically enough, I think that was the anniversary of the Red Wings lighting up Patrick Waugh.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was the 25 years.
22nd. I think it's 22nd. Yeah, it happened in '95. I was watching that game. That was the Red Wings against Waugh in that game? Yes, it was. It was Waugh's last game as a.
Oh yeah, because they left him. What was the final score? They left him out there
11-0 or 11-1. I think it was 11-0.
Yeah, because they left him out there for the whole thing. He's essentially said
there was some bad blood though between him and Mario Tremblay, the coach then.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember what it was, but there was some underlying bad blood between those two. And Patrick Waugh actually said it on the bench right there, because I think the general manager at the time was sitting right behind the players' bench. Patrick Waugh, when he went and skated back to the bench, when Tremblay finally took him out, he went up to the general manager. He said, "I'm done." Walked back over to the to his little stool. Yeah. And sat down, and during the whole time, it's great too. It's one of those things.
I've seen it. I've never seen like a translation. Of it.
Go and watch the YouTube video of it because it isn't. I mean, just the tension between those two. I mean, Tremblay is just sitting there eyeballing them like back and forth as Waz making his way across the bench, and it was great. It was great, and it was even better for Red Wings fans because they got to end Waz's career in Montreal, but then.
Became their nemesis.
That was the beginning because he got traded to the Avalanche, and then that following year is when shit hit the fan. That was '96 when the Avalanche eliminated the Red Wings in the I believe it was the
conference finals.
I think it was the conference finals, yeah, and the whole Claude Lemieux, Chris Draper thing, and it was.
And it set off one of those great runs of like mini rivalries.
Oh, that was arguably one of the best rivalries that hockey's ever seen.
It's faded, but
it's I mean,
now they don't play each other.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's not there anymore. But yeah, I mean that was an incredibly fun time, and that's where we need to get back to. I mean, we need to get back to those Red Wings days when they would go out and they would skate the other team off the ice, and the problem with it. With Jeff Blashill, and you mentioned it in the rundown, Dorf, not playing the guys that they should be playing. I mean, Athanasiou is going to walk after this season if he doesn't get the playing time that he's looking for.
At this point, he's already demonstrated that he's willing to take less money to get out of here so he can fucking play. And you know what? This isn't a guy like Thomas Yurko walking in your office and be like, play me or trade me or whatever. Happened last year.
Yeah, okay.
Thomas Yurko is, I don't know what you would call the NHL equivalent of a 4A player, like the quadruple A player baseball analogy. But that's what Thomas Yurko was and is. Is he even in the league right now?
I don't know if he's still with Chicago or not. I haven't seen it.
Okay. By the way, masterful wizardry getting a 3rd round pick for him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah. You've relegated one of your most talented guys. You struggle to put the puck in the net. You are the 5th worst goal scoring team in the league, and you allow the 5th most goals per game. If anything, you should be living. Yeah, you know what? He's an incomplete defensive player. So what?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. You need to put the fucking biscuit in the basket. You need to score. Take some fucking chances. This guy is you know what, you might not have, he is the most offensively talented player you have, and you don't play him. It's asinine that he's not playing 16 to 20 minutes a night. He's young. I know forwards usually don't play 20 minutes a night. I don't care. He's young and in shape and healthy. The fact that he's not out there in every fucking scenario. He is not in your first top two lines.
See, that's what I wasn't understanding.
Your first choice on the power play. Hell, because have him kill penalties. Dude's got wheels.
They had him playing on the 4th line. And I didn't get
it's
that.
Not just the other night. It's regularly over the last month.
That's something I don't understand. This team right now isn't deep enough. I mean, this isn't.
It would be one thing if he was just breaking in, and that was, he happened to be.
It would be
one of the best 12 healthy.
It would be one thing, Dorf. Dorf would be one thing if this was the 2002 Red Wings when you had Brett Hall and Luke Robitaille
playing on your 4th line
and Sergei Fedorov. No, at the 4th line at that time, you're having Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk playing. Then those were your bottom line players. Right now you don't have the depth to do something like that. You just don't. You need to be playing these guys on the top 2 lines. This is, Shawn was thinking about baseball a second ago. This is exactly how it is. I mean, if you're a baseball team and you're not deep when it comes to your lineup, when you're putting that batting rotation together.
You stock up the front of that.
You load the front of the lineup.
You load the front of the lineup up. You put your best hitters up at the top. You don't sit there and pick and choose. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to bet Miguel Cabrera down at 7
tonight.
Yeah.
Try something out here.
Yeah, just so we have some stuff spread out. It doesn't work like that.
If you do that, you know what? It kind of take this baseball analogy even further. If you're loading up the front of your lineup, you're hitting Miguel Cabrera second.
Yeah, so your number 2 spot's always going to be
your best. And you're hitting him more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to move this over to hockey, which obviously we have to because we're talking about the Red Wings now, look, Athanasiou, he's not Connor McDavid. Okay, he's not a guy.
You don't have Connor McDavid in your organization.
No, this is what I'm going to say though. He's not. He's not talented like Connor McDavid is. He's not to that level. Which means
he might be just as good of an athlete. He just doesn't
which means
else.
if you put Connor McDavid on any line, he's going to make anybody better. Athanasiou isn't like that.
And just flat out score goals by himself.
Athanasiou is not like that. Yes, Athanasiou is very, very good. But if you put him with shit players, he's going to end up playing like shit. He's not going to make people around him better. He's not at that level yet. Hopefully he becomes that guy that the Red Wings can count on. But he's not at that level yet. You have to play him with your best players. You have to play him on your top line. And how exciting is that too? Seeing him on a line with Dylan Larkin and Anthony Mantha. That is one of
that line should be fucking unstoppable.
That something like that is something that we should be seeing game in and game out with this team. It is such a fun line to see, and it's something that Red Wings fans, for as long as I can remember, haven't been able to see all that much, because the Red Wings have always been an older team, and they've never had that breakthrough speed like they have.
That team that can just that line that you can put out there and skate circles around. Anthony Mantha is not the fastest guy in the world, but he's fucking huge.
He's big. He's a big guy. He's a talented guy.
He has a hell of a long reach. He uses an insanely long stick.
Yes. It's like a Dave Andreychuk stick.
Yeah.
And that's what
humongous.
And I think Osgood was making that comparison a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. You know what? They're incomplete players on defense. So what?
I don't care. This isn't a complete.
Go put the pressure on somebody else. Make somebody else adjust to you.
This isn't a team. This isn't a complete team, obviously. But you have to play these players.
Guess what? You know what? Nobody in the NHL is a complete team anymore. There's so many teams out there. You know what? They've got guys. They've kind of taken a very similar attitude to baseball, where I don't need 9 complete guys. I've got 14 roster spots for offensive, or 13 roster spots for offensive players in baseball. Mm-hmm. I just need to be able to put a complete, a semi-complete lineup of 9 out there on the field out of my 13. If one guy happens to not be able to hit left-handed pitching, or happens to not be a good defensive hockey player, I don't put him in spots where I need him to be a great defensive hockey player. But you know what? He's fucking above average on offense. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make somebody else adjust to me because, oh shit, we've got 3 dynamic offensive players on the ice right now. Shit, we've got to put in our checking line, or our checking line's going to have to play extra. You know what? The way they configure their lineups, no opposing coach has to adjust their game plan to counter any of the lineups that the Red Wings will out there defensively. The way they have this talent distributed, nobody's scared of it. We just can roll with whatever we want to roll with right now. We don't have to adjust. You don't see them double shifting defensive pairs to, oh shit, this group's back here on the ice. Get your top pair back out there, even though they've played for the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's another problem too. Is it's easier to defend a guy. It's easier to keep
when he's out there by himself.
Yes, exactly. When you have Athanasiou out on the 4th line, you don't need to pay attention really to the other guys.
Because you know what? They're going to play, 9 minutes?
Yeah. Exactly.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. Mm-hmm. If he's lucky, you'll get 2 shots in 9 minutes.
And if Athanasiou isn't playing on those top 2 lines, that means somebody of lesser talent is playing on those top 2 lines. Is taking that spot. And that's something that shouldn't happen. Athanasiou needs to be playing with the best players on this team. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
That's.
And here's the deal. If you look at just pouring through the stat sheets, not even going to get into advanced metrics. You have your head coach calling out in your front office, calling out in the media. You're by the number. You're no bullshit leading scorer. Yeah, he doesn't have the most points on the team, but he's put 12 in the net and assisted on 10 others.
Very, very consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a -9. You're a bad team. Of course he's going to be in the hole. You've got 4 guys that are in the positive, and 2 of them don't play.
I think he was a -4 the other night.
Yeah.
Or last night against Montreal.
So what?
Yeah. They didn't have a single guy who was a 0 or in the plus category.
Yeah, they got ran over.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing about last night too was is Montreal didn't score a power play goal.
That was all even strength.
Yes.
Oh God.
And it's not it's not like the Red Wings were taking a bunch of penalties. They had
They just got ran over.
They had 6 penalty minutes on the night. Montreal had 2. That's it.
Wow. I mean, if just get with the times, Red Wings. Look at how other very good teams structure their roster. You know what? They spend exorbitant amounts of cash. If you look at just like the cash distribution by line on the average upper level NHL team right now, they spend about $15 million each on the top 2 lines, and then about $2 million total on the third and fourth. Third one's a bunch of your young guys that are actually could be pretty good. Your fourth line is your, veterans minimum scrappy dudes. They don't have $4 or $5 million players playing on their third line. Because you've invested in a lot of nice players instead of several good ones and fill out the rest of the roster. Because you know what modern NHL is? Now the Red Wings haven't been able to do this since the salary cap was instituted. It's we load up to put our best, 6 on the ice and put them in situations where they're going to be successful, and we just try and tread water when the third and fourth lines are out there. Just don't hurt us. I guarantee, now I don't have these numbers in front of me, I have not crunched them myself. If you look at like scoring distribution amongst like first, second, third, and fourth lines, all of the scoring, not literally but you know what I mean. All of the scoring takes place from the top 2 lines, and the third and fourth line, it's just about to stay neutral. It's all you're trying to do. You're out there to kill time to get the top 2 lines back out there. Don't gamble. Don't take a penalty. Don't get us in trouble. Just give these guys a rest and then get back out there. That's all they should be.
Want to know?
They're using an outdated. If you look at it, you're using an outdated coaching and outdated roster construction model. Yeah, this sort of strategy worked about 10 years ago. In the pre-salary cap era, it worked. It doesn't anymore.
Want to hear something interesting?
Sure, go ahead.
Ken Holland's contract is up after this year.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. Now watch, he's been Caldwell, and he got extended 3 months ago, and they haven't said anything.
Is this the year that they? Is this the time that they bring back Yzerman?
If you can get him to leave, I don't think you can.
You offer him enough money, you will.
Yeah, and
with having
there's no cap on.
Oh yeah, executive pay. Yeah, no.
Executive.
And having a big name like that come in might help bring some other players in.
No, players don't. Guys don't care about that. Is it a nice place to live? Are my facilities good enough to maximize me as a player?
Yes.
And what's the fucking income tax rate?
That's
That's all that matters to these guys.
It's not California. We're not in New York.
Yeah.
Or Canada. Weaker dollar plus insanely higher taxes.
Possibly. I think that you offer.
You by no means do not try. But I don't think that you have to literally back up the Brinks truck.
You know what though? If Yzerman's going to leave for any team,
this is the one.
If he's going to leave the Lightning for any team, it's going to be the Red Wings
or Toronto. But I doubt that would happen because isn't he from Ontario?
I think he's from British Columbia.
Is he a BC guy?
I think so.
Well, sorry. Toronto's Canada's national team. I don't care what anybody says.
They're not there.
Oh yeah, hell no. They're paying Mike Babcock for the next decade. So whatever.
He's from Cranbrook, Canada. Where the fuck is Cranbrook?
Canada.
It's in British Columbia.
Yeah, watch our one. We actually have a listener from Cranbrook. Oh fuck you guys. We're not irrelevant.
I want to see what his contract is.
Yes, take a look. I mean, at the same time, what bothers me is you're going to rip on your leading scorer publicly. The only guy who is scoring at an above average pace, and if you look at his shooting percentage, pretty close to the top of the league.
I see, and I don't.
And then you're not going to sit there and call out he's your captain, he's your veteran, who hasn't scored in 20 fucking games. He has not scored in 20 games. You know what a 20-game scoring drought is acceptable for? Luke Glendening.
He scored the other night. He scored their only goal last night.
Yeah. A 20-game scoring drought is acceptable for a Luke Glendening. Or, well, since David Booth's playing around a lot right now, David Booth, who scored 2 the other night. There's only 2 on the season.
You want to know something interesting?
What's that? Is this up at the end of the year, too?
I think it is. I think it is. I'm not seeing any other... Because this article was back April 7th, 2014. I'm not seeing anything newer.
Ruh-roh.
I'm not...
Well, let's research that further before we freak out.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. It might be time.
I doubt he would be a lame duck general manager. I'm sure he's got...
I don't know.
Current contract runs through the 18-19 season.
So 2 years.
18-19?
18-19 season, which is next year. You could buy him out with 1 year to go. You
Yep.
have to trade for him. You have to give him a couple picks.
I don't know what the rules are regarding that in hockey. I don't know if you...
Can you trade for an executive?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you've seen... I know it's the NBA, but you've seen trades for coaches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or in baseball, announcers.
Yeah, the Clippers traded for Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the deals. I mean, they probably should get rid of him now, but...
Wasn't Ernie Harwell traded at one point?
No.
No.
I don't... Oh, wait, you know what?
Or was
he?
I think he... I don't know if he was, like, early on in his career.
Yeah.
He may have been.
he was with... Who's he with?
For something that's striking
I
me
think
is...
it
A Dodger player was once traded for announcer Ernie Harwell.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I thought I remember something like that. Yeah. That's funny. We'll give you Ken Daniels and...
Yeah. Chris Osgood and a player to be named later for Steve Heisman. Cash.
Oh man. No, I hear you, Dorf. I think your frustrations, I think your arguments here are reasonable. I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're saying. The only thing for me is I'm not so much ready to jump completely in terms of blowing everything up as far as coaching and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they were to fire Jeff Blashill today, I really wouldn't.
You wouldn't care?
No, I wouldn't. I'm just saying. I guess I'm willing to wait until the end of December to see how things go. And if they have a shit month, then yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, at the same time, this year's toast. This year, the worst part is they were less than a week ago. They would be in the playoffs a week ago.
Well, I mean, and that's good reason to show how quickly things can turn around in hockey. And when you have a long season like this, things can turn around quickly. And once you get into January, though, that's when you really start. You know, that's obviously when wins start to matter a little bit more. And if you are 5 games back of a playoff spot at that time, then yeah, you might need to start looking towards next season and whether or not you want to, if this is the coaching staff that you want to continue with. So
it's not. Nor is this roster. Nor is this general manager.
Well, I mean, there's pieces on this roster.
That they're
worth keeping
nice
around.
pieces, but at the same time, they're a bunch of immovable shopping carts.
Okay, are you going to get rid of Mantha?
No.
Are you going to get rid of Athanasiou? Are you going to try to re-sign him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan Larkin?
Yep.
Okay.
That's 1 line out of 4. You still need 6 defensemen.
You're not getting rid of Franz Nielsen.
I wouldn't want to either.
Yeah, making too much money.
I could think you could move Franz Nielsen. But he's got a no trade clause.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Or
it's something.
no
You know
movement.
what? I'm sorry. And something else is going to happen too. Is there's going to be more expansion. There's going to be more
There's got
expansion.
to be at least one more.
There's going to be another expansion team here within the next 2 years. So that's something else the Red Wings are going to have to deal with, like any other team in the league, though. So,
Good. It can only help them.
Yeah.
Honestly, it could only help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Just don't let him take a Thomas Nosek again. Leave him no choice but to take one of your piece of shit, overpaid bullshit.
Well,
Darren
unfortunately,
Helms and Justin Ablicators of the world.
it doesn't always work out like that.
You're right.
And I'm sure they would have loved to have them take a Jonathan Ericsson or.
Oh, by the way, Jonathan Ericsson is your only player who's in the positive. By the way, plus minus.
Yeah, hasn't been bad this year. Hasn't been bad so far.
All right.
Could be a lot worse with Jonathan Ericsson.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Kind of a greater. I know I titled this topic. Should the Michigan Wolverines be interested in quarterback transfer Shea Patterson from Ole Miss? But I think it's more of an overall discussion about the culture of the program. Michigan has already had 5 players transfer prior to the bowl game. You usually see about 4 or 5 guys in any given program leave for their own reasons at the end of every year before their eligibility's up. That's normal. That happens. However, you usually don't see guys with eligibility remaining lead programs before their bowl game, including your incumbent starting quarterback. Is this a sign of a toxic culture, or is this just the way that things happen to work out this year because of the exact circumstances? I mean, let's go through it. Mo Ways, 4th-year wide receiver, buried on the depth chart despite injuries and inconsistency issues. Was never going to play. Alex Malzahn was never going to play. Wilton Spate, I have a sneaking suspicion he was told not to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have a very sneaking suspicion that he was told in no uncertain terms you will never play here again.
And I think that would have been a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't confirm it. It hasn't been said by either side. It is what it is. I have my... But guy that started quarterback for you for the last 2 years. He's not returning.
And he had a decent year, not this past year, but last year. Didn't have a bad year last year.
And I'm forgetting the other 2 guys.
Alex Malzahn.
I already mentioned him.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
There's 5 guys in total. I'm forgetting the other 2.
But you gotta look at it too. Most of these guys are never gonna play. They're better.
And for that reason, I'm not surprised.
Malzahn
It's not like
gonna play.
Right. So it's not a shocker that they left.
Spates, I get Spate. I totally get it from his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that kind of surprises me. And if you actually looked at his, I believe it was Instagram post about it, the reason he's doing it now was because he hopes to enroll somewhere else in January.
Right.
And you can't do that if you keep playing, and that would leave him like 1 week to find a new school.
And he wasn't going to play now anyways. And, because if, say, Patterson comes in here, you have a battle between him and Peters.
And here's the other thing. Let's get back to the introduction. Do you want Shea Patterson?
I try to get him.
Yeah,
That's a fucking look.
Yeah, I totally
absolutely.
would. You can tell by the way he plays, the way he does stuff. He's a guy that can create players to build around.
Patterson, essentially, in order to get him eligible next year, you're going to have to win a lawsuit. Patterson himself or Michigan on his behalf is going to have to sue to have him immediately eligible. He's been a 2-year player. He started almost immediately as a true freshman for Ole Miss 2 years ago. And due to this scandal and something, their recruiting scandal and other mitigating factors, he has a compelling legal case to be eligible to play immediately.
This is Michigan.
And it is Michigan, and they'll find a way.
At least it's not Tennessee.
Oh.
True.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
They're going to have to resort to Brady Hoke.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if he's not hired.
At this point, yeah.
And, in my view...
Watch, and then he goes out and wins fucking 11 games next year.
That would be funny.
Wins the SEC East.
That'd be funny. And, if somehow you can bring Patterson in, I would be super happy because, he's a guy that we have 2 tight ends, I think, that we could use more, like between Gentry and...
Still don't have any wide receivers.
No, I'm saying we don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could use those guys more. All you have is slot receivers. You don't have no deep threat whatsoever. You have these tiny slot receivers that can just do. That's all they can do. They can't run down the field and get free or anything like that. And then that's why you need to use McKinnon and Gentry to use those big guys to do stuff. And I think Patterson and Peters are two guys that potentially could do something with that, and that's what they need.
As far as the culture thing goes, I don't know if you want to call it so much of a culture thing, Dorf. There's something's not right. I don't know whether or not this is a preference thing for somebody when it comes to a guy like Jim Harbaugh. I wrote something like last week talking about a hot seat that Jim Harbaugh is potentially or should be on.
Should be.
Yes. Look, if Jim Harbaugh has had a very unconventional way of going about getting his players and a somewhat more conventional way when it comes to bigger name college programs, when it comes to housekeeping, getting guys to leave who you no longer have any use for. I mean, that's something that big-time college programs do.
They do that all the time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, Nick Saban is probably one of the masters at doing something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I don't need you anymore.
Get lost.
Yep,
Scholarship's gone.
Yep, get out of here. I mean, it's something too that like these in many ways aren't college programs. These are
Professional programs that happen to take place on universities.
Yes, these are 4A NFL programs here. A lot of these teams. However, when you're a guy that isn't winning and still have these antics going on, when you still have players, jumping ship, and when you have these unconventional tactics to try to get some of these players to your program, I think that's when things start to run, thin with
patience. People are putting up with it silently now, or about to not put up with it anymore.
And I'll tell you what, if the Wolverines go next season and they lose again to Michigan State,
they lose again to Ohio State.
And they lose again to Ohio State, they don't beat Penn State because Penn State's going to be.
Is Penn State on the schedule again?
You know what? I don't know. I have to go back.
Well, wait, they're in division. They're always. On the schedule.
Yeah.
Or if they don't,
They weren't in the initial leaders and legends. That's
I don't know if they play Wisconsin or anything next year. But if they don't win those 3 games, or at least 2 of those 3, then what are we doing, Michigan fans? How long is this going to go on when you're going to allow something like this?
You've got Lloyd Carr all over again.
You don't even have that.
Yeah, you don't know.
Lloyd Carr did something when he was here.
He won a national championship.
Won a national championship.
How many years in did he win his national championship?
Oh, I can't remember.
Like year 7 or 8?
But you weren't losing every single season to Ohio State.
Absolutely.
And that's not something that
your 2 key rivals didn't. They've owned you for over a decade.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh.
Honestly, if by any reasonable measure of defining a successful college football season is defined by winning the majority of your rivalry games, by that definition, you have not had a successful season in 12 years.
Well, the problem with this too, Dorf, is yes, rivalry games are important. I mean, obviously, the goal is to win the Big Ten. That's what it comes down to. However, you're not winning the Big Ten unless if you're not beating Michigan State, Ohio State, or Penn State. That's not happening.
You minimally have to beat 2 out of 3.
Yes, absolutely.
Minimally.
Yes.
You need 2 out of 3 and get some help.
Yes. You may have to sweep that entire series against those people.
And honestly, if you want to play for a national title, you have to sweep all 3.
Yes.
Lloyd Carr won it in his 3rd year.
Was it his 3rd year?
Yeah.
Gary Mueller was right before him, right?
What?
Was it Gary Mueller?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. How long was Mueller there for?
Not
too terribly long.
No, because he got fired for his little drunken spat at some restaurant.
Yeah, as he should have been.
I can't remember how long he was there for.
And who was before that?
I think it was Bo.
Was it Bo?
I think it was Bo before Gary Mueller.
I think you're right. Yeah, that timeline makes sense.
Okay.
So you basically say
you're making my point worse.
Yeah, Lloyd,
worse for Jim Harbaugh.
But no, you go and look at what other coaches have done. I'm sorry, but comparing Jim Harbaugh to Nick Saban and Urban Meyer,
that irritates me. It's not even right. It's not. They're not even in the same category.
No, but it should. But it should be.
The only thing
it should be though, because
the only thing they have in common is large paychecks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though?
The other two have won something.
You're getting paid that money. It's time to start winning, buddy.
Yeah,
Same thing with
exactly.
Jimbo Fisher now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I know that guy is.
It's
10
time.
and 80. He just got a 10-year, $80 million deal from a public institution.
You know what though?
Jesus.
You know what though? You don't even need to put Nick Saban on the program. You right now, you need to be comparable to Urban Meyer, and you are not.
Mm-hmm.
You are not. Urban Meyer won a national championship in his 3rd year. Last season, he had one of the youngest teams in college football and managed to get him to the college football playoff. So Michigan fans out there saying that, oh, well, they're the youngest team in all of college football.
Except they're not. They're not even the youngest team in their own state.
Yeah. I don't care.
They're not even the youngest team in their own state.
I don't care how young you are. I don't care.
This is Michigan.
In some sense, that's true. That is absolutely true. And you know what? You know who went 12-0? Taking over a supposedly down and out Luke Fickell Ohio State team?
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer took the Buckeyes to a 12-0 season. Yes, they
National championship victory.
They could. Well, they could.
They didn't go. That's
They
right.
couldn't do anything because they were still in trouble.
Yeah.
But still,
Postseason ban. That's right.
you got a bunch of players on that team who could have played for absolutely nothing, motivated, and win 12 games. 12 games when they could have easily gone out there
and just played hero ball and play for themselves.
Yes.
Play to get their game tape on.
Game tape, NFL tape, whatever it is you want to say.
Exactly.
But you know what? You have Jim Harbaugh making all this money. He's a top 5 paid coach in all of college football.
Actually, he was the highest second highest until yesterday when Jimbo Fisher got his contract.
Yes. Actually, I think he was 3rd. I think Jimbo Fisher was still making more
than him before
that. Yes. Okay. I think it was Saban, Jimbo, and then
God, that doesn't make sense
Harbaugh.
to me. I know Jimbo Fisher has played for National.
Oh yeah, and you know what?
What has he done?
You know what? You know Mark D'Antonio, who's able to get everything that he can out of 3 stars and has won the Big Ten. How many times, Dorf?
I believe 3 times.
3 times. Go to some respectable bowl games and win those as well. You know where Mark D'Antonio?
No, sorry, twice. They lost in the championship game.
Against Wisconsin.
Wilson and Wisconsin, yes.
Okay, still.
But they've played for it 3 times.
You know where Mark D'Antonio is on this list? I think he's 17.
Highest paid coach?
Yes.
After some of the contracts that have been handed out, like Scott Frost.
Well, he's probably in the 20s now.
He's now in the 20s.
He might be in the 20s now.
Well, until they give him his annual reach around to give him a
And
little
again,
bit more money.
you know what? I'm not even asking a whole lot here. Winning the Big Ten isn't an insurmountable task when you have Jim Harbaugh in this coaching staff.
Pile of money. They don't have a budget. It's spend whatever you want. We'll worry about it all later.
Yes, absolutely. And it still can't get done. And all I see here is Michigan fans continuing to make excuses because Jim Harbaugh's Jim Harbaugh. This is the best coach that we've had in. Okay, yeah, that may be the case.
But you know what? I'm sorry. He is the best coach.
Yes, he is.
Bo, don't get me started. I've published my thoughts on Bo Schembechler.
You know what though, Dorf? You know what though, Dorf? At this point though, there's a difference between the best coach and the right coach. Mm-hmm. And so far right now, Jim Harbaugh may be the best coach.
But he's not the right coach.
But as we've seen it so far with this team, he may not be the right coach for this team.
You know what? I'm going to be selfish here. He is the perfect coach. Keep losing to your rivals, buddy.
Okay. I am speaking.
He's speaking for a Michigan fan.
Yeah, you're speaking from the perspective of Michigan. Yes, I know.
I don't even.
That was just a nice less than.
I don't even know if I'm speaking from the perspective of a Michigan fan because everything that I've seen so far, Michigan fans continue to want to take it in the ass.
But it's okay because we got the Outback Bowl.
Yes, as long as Jim Harbaugh is still in the fold.
I don't even care if we get a bowl game. I want to win freaking a championship. That's what I want to win.
Bam. And that should be your expectation.
Yeah, that's absolutely. As being a Michigan fan, I'm a huge Michigan fan. I don't care about bowl games. I want the championship. We brought you in here to win the damn games.
And he's not.
I know. And it's irritating. It's so frustrating.
Oh, Shawn, you poor child.
Do you think people in Columbus would be sitting here? I don't know.
No, Nash. It's
Dude, they would be
the
ranting, dude. They'd be on Urban Meyer's front porch.
Yes. Do you think Buckeyes fans in year 3, the Buckeyes just finished 4th? 4th in their division. Is that where Michigan finished this year? Was it 4th?
Michigan?
Yes.
Was
it was either 4th or 3rd. I can't quite remember.
I will look at it. 4th.
But
this year, 4th.
What kind of outlook would Michigan fans?
It's not even 4th in the Big Ten. It's 4th in your own division.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would Ohio State fans think of Urban Meyer at that point? I can't imagine they would be happy with that or accepting of that.
No, there'd be calls for, can we hire Jim Tressel back? The sweater vest.
Maybe that's who Michigan should go and hire.
Dude, I don't think Jim Tressel wants anything to do with college football again.
Might not.
Dude, he's like the chancellor of Youngstown State. Like, runs a school.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah, him and Bo Pelini are on the same campus together. Hey, that's a name you haven't heard for the Tennessee job.
Bo Pelini.
Yeah. Oh, man. That'd be great.
Bo Pelini in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. hey, there's rumor talks. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe they'll take Jim Bob Cooter away from the Lions.
Jim Bob Cooter said, "Oh, that's cute."
I know, right? When I saw it, I was like, "Yeah, maybe that'd be awesome." I'm like, "Oh, he doesn't want to."
I think you know what they hugged Greg Schiano for less than what Jim Bob Cooter's got on his record when he was a student at the University of Tennessee.
I was just hoping. I was praying. I was like, "Yay!" Just let Matt Stafford call the plays.
You know what though? I'm sorry. I know we're off topic here with Tennessee.
That's fine.
Tennessee, you're not good enough to be outside protesting, coaches.
I know.
You're not good enough. You know the last time you're good for the time that Peyton Manning was there.
Yeah, I was going to say Peyton Manning was there like 30 years ago.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Or no, actually,
that's the only time they've been good.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are? You're not Alabama. You're not Florida State.
I wouldn't even put Florida State on that list.
Not anymore.
Who are they going to hire?
I can't remember.
Have they picked somebody yet?
No.
I don't think so.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they just traded coaches with A&M? Someone got hired there.
You know what though?
And here's another thing I saw going around on Twitter: Tennessee fans clamoring for them to hire Mark D'Antonio, and I almost fell out of my seat.
Yeah,
laughing.
you know what Mark D'Antonio was going to say to that?
He doesn't have an agent. You have to call him directly for that. He'll probably be like, huh. Like, put down the phone.
The last time Tennessee was halfway decent was 2007. They went 10-4.
Great. And they probably didn't play.
They lost they lost in the conference championship game and then lost their bowl game.
No, they won the Outback game.
Oh, great.
I know
How
that
the
was.
fuck did they?
I'm gonna say though they probably didn't play anybody, just like any other SEC team. They probably
Don't give me Mercer as a quality win.
They probably didn't play. They probably didn't play anybody out of conference. They probably stayed. They probably stayed in the Southeast.
Nick
I talking
Saban.
about for 2007.
Play a fucking road game. You piece of shit. Play a fucking real road game.
They were undefeated in '98
with Peyton Manning.
With Peyton Manning. Or was that T. Martin? T. Martin was the QB after him, right?
I'm gonna check real quick. Roster. Here we go. It was T. Martin. Was the quarterback.
Yeah, because he was the QB post Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you might have to hire him. He's the OC at USC, isn't he?
Who?
T. Martin.
Is he? Sean, look it up.
He's an OC somewhere.
Sean, look it up.
Who?
T. Martin.
This is what we were missing Shawn for last.
Yeah, Shawn, look this up.
That's true. That is so true. Come on.
Hurry up.
Ah, Jesus.
So you move on?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, bowl game reactions. We're going to parlay that into this.
He's at UT.
Texas?
Yeah.
see it.
Oh, never mind. It says never mind. I'm reading the wrong part.
It says never mind.
Yeah, it says never mind.
Let's say, you sure?
He does not have a job right now.
Yo, he's an OC in a major college program.
I forgot Greg.
I know that for sure.
I forgot Greg Schiano was at Ohio State.
Yeah, DC at Ohio State. He's having a good defense. He's had a very good defense. No, Greg Shawn will get another job.
Yeah, he will.
I can't wait till apparently.
He's the offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach for USC.
Okay, told you he was at USC. Can't wait until he. I forget where I was going with that. Anyway,
Can't wait.
So Michigan gets South Carolina in the Outback Bowl. Both teams are unranked. That game takes place January 1st. Michigan State gets Washington State in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. The Outback Bowl is in Tampa, by the way. So it's in San Diego on the 28th of December. Michigan State fans are butthurt again because they get the lesser bowl game again, despite having a better record than their in-state counterpart and winning a head-to-head. They get the quote-unquote worst game. However, they get a ranked opponent in South Carolina.
It's just the bowl game.
Does it really matter?
No.
Hey, I'd rather go to San Diego than Tampa.
You're playing a better team that's ranked,
yeah.
so it proves that you're a better team. So I don't know why they're bitching.
And we get to
about
hear Mike Leach quotes. It's going to be great. Did you see his rant about getting married?
No.
It was great.
You know what? Doesn't
Every woman in your life is going to lose her mind.
It's like 2 minutes long. If we had more time, I would say let's pull it up and play it because it's gold. I want to hear you guys. We're going to do that in between shows. You guys are going to listen to it. It's great. No, that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Holiday Bowl's going to be fun. And here's the thing. Michigan State might get blown out.
You really might get blown out.
Think so?
Yeah.
There's the chance. Because I don't know that they're going to be able to score enough to keep up with
what Washington State can do on offense. Now, Washington State is by no means svelte on defense, but you've seen some pretty piss poor defensive teams hold Michigan State in the 20s, so and even lower. But
Yeah.
no rain this time. You'll get a legit game there.
You know what? Ultimately, though, I mean, and this is back to what Shawn was kind of alluding to. It seemed like I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
If you don't win the Big Ten, if you don't go to the college football playoff, I don't think it.
And a bowl game is just for you to make money.
I don't think it matters a whole lot. And this is the thing, and this is the overall.
It's for everybody to make money.
Well, this is this is the overall encompassing theme here with college football. I know a lot of people like to think that they're really picking the top teams, and maybe they did this year. I mean, we're going to get to that in Blitzcast tonight, but look, Michigan fans still travel better than Michigan State fans.
They do.
And when it comes down to it, they're going to try to get the better team in there. And
yes, because the bowl game is only incentive is money making.
Yes,
outside of the playoff bowls, the only bowl game incentive is money making. And if you have any sort of reach where you can get a bigger market, let's call it, you do it.
Mm-hmm. That's what you do.
Oh yeah, and this whole charade that it was about your final standings has been known bullshit for a while, and it sucks because once again, your state rival gets the better game despite being the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
But does that really? At the end of the day, does that really matter for Michigan State? I mean, what does it really? What do you really?
It might matter. Because I know you get money for going to different games. It might be. I don't know what their revenue sharing check difference might be because there might be a difference.
Yeah,
and that might matter there.
Fair enough. I bet there's a.
But you're a financial. Both school institutions are in a financial position where that's not going to make a difference. It'd be one thing if this was Eastern Michigan, where oh my god, they could revolutionarily change the program, an extra couple $1 million. But these two programs, it doesn't matter.
Let's go and ask Dan Gilbert, Tom Gorse, or Magic Johnson to write a check to make up the difference.
Or Draymond Green or Kirk Cousins.
Yes. Yeah, make up the difference, please.
Yeah. No, and you know what? That'll be fun.
You want to say your Kirk Cousins?
Oh no, I had a crazy idea. It's going to be 10 years. I wonder if we'll still be doing this then.
If you can get another 7 or 8 years out of Mark D'Antonio as the head coach of Michigan State, Kirk Cousins will be the next head coach of the Spartans.
You heard it here first, everybody. Kirk Cousins will be the next head coach of the Michigan
Just
State
based
Spartans.
on his...
Now, here's why, great article. I believe it was in last week's Sports Illustrated about him and kind of his, I want to call it scientific approach to himself and football in general.
Yeah.
That kind of, I think that would translate extremely well to coaching. Now, does he want to do it is the next question. Does he want to coach, or does he want to hang it up and take a chill pill? Because if the way it sounds like it, he hasn't been able to take a chill pill forever.
And all he does is save money. He talks about how he doesn't.
Oh yeah, they live with his wife's parents in the off season to save money.
And he drives his grandmother's.
No, not anymore. He bought a used Mercedes conversion van.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Does not drive grandma's conversion van that he bought from her for like $5,000.
Yeah.
His grandma made him pay $5,000.
Yes.
She's like, $5,000 you get it because I know you're gonna make a lot of money soon.
Come on, grandma.
No, they live in the fucking in-laws' basement in the off season to save money.
Still?
That's according to the article they do.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Come on, Captain Kirk. I'm sure his wife
he bought a Mercedes G-Class van, and everybody's like, ooh, and then you realize it was a 2001 with over 50,000 miles.
What do you think his wife is like? He's like, come on.
She probably spends money.
Well,
I guarantee.
you know what? She's put up with a lot already because he also, according to this article, partook in a QB, QB meeting from the delivery room on FaceTime. So she already is willing to apparently put up with a lot.
Well, yeah. I think she's buying something from Amazon every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Anyway,
they got like $20 million sitting in their bank account, making interest.
Dude, he's made $44 million in the last two. Well, he hasn't made it all this year, but this year and next year.
Can we
this last year?
Can we touch on the Jim Caldwell thing real quick?
Sure.
Can we see it happening? Because the Lions obviously got blown out.
Him getting Jeff Fishered.
Can we see that happening?
Yes.
2 blowouts in a row. I'm sorry. I know they crawled back into the one on Thanksgiving Day, but it was a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Game is over in the second quarter.
I mean, is it fair to say, or is it possible that we see Jim Caldwell fired at the end of the season?
I love Jim Caldwell.
Think about it. If
you see how much control Martha still has at the end of the year,
right? So if say Jim Caldwell is fired, do you think Jim Cooter's gone? And you think?
Absolutely.
You think maybe Austin?
It'll be a full. I don't think your answer is your next head coach is not in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
No,
that's how it should be.
You know I want? Matt Petrichka
from New England.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is he going to keep the beard? Oh, of course you would, because he has a beard.
Shawn, you'd be a great impersonator.
I know, right?
He's a little bit taller
and a little bit bigger.
Oh, really, man?
He's a big dude.
He looks like he's a big dude. He's really not that big of a dude, though.
Shawn?
He wears very loose clothing, and he's a fan of Barstool Sports.
So you're making me put a hat on?
Put it on backwards. And you got to put this in the hat too.
And you gotta wait. Whoops.
You gotta put it behind your ear.
Let me just take this.
and he's a big fan of Barstool Sports, apparently.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Did you not see him after coming home from the Super Bowl last year, walking down the steps of the plane with the Goodell clown T-shirt on?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would love that more than anything because the dude is like, and our main problem, obviously besides running back, is our defense, and his mindset I think would be very, very, very helpful.
You know what, Josh McDaniels, he's kind of lost the hipness with me, if that makes any sense.
Did Tom Brady go off on him today?
Oh my god, that was awesome!
I did not see that.
Oh my god,
dude! He was just up in his face, just like screaming. I guarantee he was play calling.
I've never seen Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's
like this before. I'm sorry, Dorf. Go ahead.
No, Josh McDaniels has kind of lost that luster for me.
Mm-hmm. We'll be a head coach again at some point.
Oh yeah, he will. He'll get a shot. Like he had a shot this last year and said thanks, no thanks.
The rumor was he was holding out for Detroit.
Yeah,
that was the rumor.
Well, Petrichka.
I could see Petrichka. I'd be completely fine with that as long as he kept
a football outsider from the beginning.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
He was just
was he an economics guy at Yale?
No, he actually played I think Division III.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but he got his start with the Patriots as like an unpaid intern. It was. There's I believe an essay article about him getting started there from a couple of years back. Essentially, Darth Hoodie called him and said, I want to offer you this job, but I need to know right now. And, he asked, hey, can I call my wife and talk to her about it? He said, nope, I need to know if you're all in right now.
Darth Hoodie told that to him.
Yeah. He
Nope.
said, hang up that phone without saying yes, it's over. You're never gonna, you won't get a chance here.
Yeah,
He said, yeah.
You gotta say yes at that point.
He said yes, and ta-da.
Anybody else?
Not off the top of my head. I really, really like Sean McVay, but you missed that boat.
Yeah, that
Look what a
was.
young, enthusiastic, outside-the-box thinker does for an otherwise talented offense in Los Angeles. Huh. He made Jared Goff look good.
Jared Goff looked
And
like
Kirk Cousins before that.
Jared Goff looked like he was a guy on his way to being
Blaine Gabbert level bust.
yes, absolutely. And he is all of a sudden one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
In year 2.
Yeah, year 2. That's
Impressive. Most impressive. And yeah, the other thing about McVay, he's 34.
I thought he was younger than that.
No, he's
I
34.
thought he was like 32. Oh,
I believe he's 34.
he's my age then.
Adam, would you like to be the next head coach of the Detroit Lions?
Yes,
Fuck no.
I would.
Hey,
I
do
do
that, and you put me in the pro personnel department. I'll be totally happy.
Dude,
Okay, fine.
as long I'll be like, you know what? I'll be your new safety. Let me go out there and play.
Let me your safe. Okay.
Sean Bell and Clover Quinn patrolling the back half.
That would be awesome.
Imagine Shawn trying to keep up with
I know.
you.
I'd be like they'd be catching ball. I'm like,
Sean, but you have a history of hamstring issues. So
I know.
Sorry.
That's so true.
All right. Last but not least, cut room floor here tonight. YOLO. Y'all saw the Silverdome not come down like it was supposed to today.
Oh, that was
the primary boom boom that was supposed to go off around the 8 main support columns didn't go off. Don't know when they're going to. They sent everybody home from watching it because they don't know when they're going to.
And they said that they're hoping the top part falls and they can just collapse the rest of the building.
Yeah.
I was reading that. I was like, really, guys? Really?
It's great. Video of it on our website.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Detroit.themajors.net. So, Tigers have non-tendered Bershon Doan. Not a surprise. They've been tempted to trade him all off-season, found no takers. Doesn't necessarily mean he won't be back with the organization. He can still sign renew a minor league deal, but highly unlikely.
Damn it. Am I the only one that wants Bruce Rondon gone?
No, I don't think you are. I just think that, you know what, he wouldn't have costed you anything to keep. I just wouldn't mind seeing him stick around, and if it doesn't work out in the middle of the year, then you cut him. But you're going to be bad anyway. Who cares? It's not keeping anybody else's roster spot. Former Tiger as well, Stephen Moya, signed in Japan.
Good for him.
Watch him become the next Eric Thames.
Watch, he's the opposite of Jack Elliott, if you know who Jack Elliott
I
is.
don't know who Jack Elliott is.
You know who Jack Elliott is, right?
Sounds
Who the
familiar.
fuck is Jack
Oh,
Elliott?
Mr. Baseball.
Oh, no.
Who the fuck is Jack Elliott?
That's a movie, Mr. Baseball.
Oh, okay. And former Piston guard Ben Gordon arrested for felony robbery.
Oh, God, I read
That's, like, this is his second
Yeah.
time in, like, the last month getting in trouble for...
He essentially, threatened with a knife
He, like-
his landlord.
Yeah, something like that.
I think, no, he was basically holding a woman against her will.
Oh, he was doing the same. It was he locked her up in the.
think it was like some
her
gym or-
pantry. No, it was his business. It was his
Yeah.
own business.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what kind of business he has, but I remember reading about that.
I think it was like a
It's a rehab center, I think, or something like that, isn't it? Or
it's like an Eastern medicine type of
yeah, I can't remember,
like
but
rehabilitation or something like that.
So bullshit peddler.
I think so, yeah.
Mhm, pretty much.
Okay. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Lions fucking suck. Playoff
Yes,
chances
they
are
do.
over.
Yep.
They are still 6-6. The schedule is pretty weak. They still could make it, but don't hold your breath.
They have to win out.
They will have to win out. All right. So that has wrapped up episode 155 of Motor City Uncut, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. Join us each and every week that we decide to do this. Every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on the various distribution channels where you found us this time. So for Adam, Shawn, I'm Dorf. We'll see y'all next week. We promise.